Check 1 2, check 1 2.
Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, children get older, and I'm getting older too.
Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This is episode 249, and I actually just realized this when I was counting the episodes, but this episode lines up, well actually next episode lines up perfectly for our 4th of July episode, also on the 250th birthday, also episode 250. So guys, that's like a big kind of like stars aligning, astrology. There's something going on there. I don't know if the episode will be good. I don't even know if this episode will be good. I know I know every episode was good. I don't release it if it's not. That being said, welcome. This is if you're returning, thank you again for listening on, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And if you're new or just clicked on this video or somehow stumbled here, welcome. This is the AfroMattt Show. A news, entertainment, education, comedy, conspiracy, book, broadcast where, we kind of digest, synthesize, and I don't know where I heard this, but it's kind of like I'm like a giant clam, where a clam sits in the water and filters out all the bad stuff. I feel like I'm a clam in the news. So the news is streaming through me. I'm just a clam here to offer some, whatever. I don't know. I don't know anything about clams, but I do know that they open and close depending on how gross the water is. Something like the water quality makes them open. Honestly, I don't know, but I'm a clam. I'm a clam here. That being said, let's get into let's first go over the book that I finished. This is Zen in the Art of Writing by Mr. Ray Bradbury. If you don't know Ray Bradbury, he wrote Fahrenheit 451 and Dandelion Wine. Oh, here's my copy of Fahrenheit 451, not to flex or anything. This was $8 at a gas station, not a gas station, a thrift shop place. But this book, I was not expecting, I'm not going to say I wasn't expecting much because it's Ray Bradbury and he's a very gifted author and creative person. Anyone with a kind of a creative, he calls it creative zest. I don't like using zest because it makes it sound gay, like zesty, like, boy, you is zesty. But he also calls it gusto, which doesn't sound less gay. I'll just call it a spark, which kind of is close to gay, but anyone with a creative spark should read this book. This book is not just about writing. I know it says Zen in the Art of Writing on the cover, but really it doesn't have much to do with writing. All of the advice that he gives can be used for visual art, for music. It's just a way to touch base with that creative spark, that ember inside of... like I said before, everyone has a creative spark inside of you. Some people just, some people's creativity is exposed or, exercised with their order at McDonald's. And that's just like a little ember, but you need to like breathe on it. And this is, really good tinder for that creative fire inside of everyone. So, there's not much, it's not a narrative. It's a collection of short essays on creativity that he's written that have appeared in certain magazines or articles or whatever. But they're all here, and this is like a little creative Bible to carry around whenever you're feeling like creatively bankrupt or exhausted of creativity or writer's block, painter's block, whatever block, this will like unleash and just like blow. Those giant fans that they had in the old time that they used to like fan the fire. This is a great tool for that, and I think that's maybe its best use case. The Here, let me just flip to a random page that I have highlighted and read it. Let's see. Okay, he's talking about this is like so in this one he's talking about all the artists that he likes, his favorites, Dickens, Twain, Wolfe, Peacock, Shaw, blah 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 blah, poets, painters, and he's think Shakespeare, Melville, and then he said they all knew the joy of creating in large or small forms on unlimited or restricted canvases. These are the children of God. So, I don't know when I talked about this last time, but creativity is like that spark. Like, I don't know if you want to go to if you want to go here with me, I'll go here. But that if you believe the creation myth of the knowledge of good and evil, the fruit of knowledge or whatever, that is so the aspect of God that humans have is creation. We're completely animals except for our ability to create. So creativity is our godly trait that we've been gifted. It is the one thing that makes us different than just an animal or just a freak on like a Anunnaki kind of. I'm not going there, but they do say the archons can't create or something like that. But as a human, your one ability is creativity, and like C.S. Lewis said, any gift you are given is actually a disservice to not use. So to let your creativity atrophy, to stop being curious and creative, is not only doing yourself a disservice, but actually doing your creator a disservice. Whether you believe that's God or whatever, it's it's the aspect about humans that is most impressive, is the ability to create and express ourselves visually, audibly, tonally, to capture feelings and words and tenses and even pauses, and all of this is just. And there's a huge gap between, of course, I'm not saying I'm some sort of master creator, but there's you have to be creative even in anything that you do. So here's another one. What is this? Read those authors who write the way that you hope to write, those who think the way you like to think, but also read those who do not think and do not write in the way you want to write, and so be stimulated in directions you might not take for many years. That's a nice little not just pigeonhole yourself. The core of your creativity should be the same as the core of your story and the main character of your story. What does your character? So I mean, some of these are related specifically to writing. There are. I mean, I'm trying to find one part that is just full of this creative zest. I think it's the very last chapter, and he does save the very best for last. He does that. Okay, here we go. Here's some good. In the art of archery, long years must pass where one learns simply the act of drawing the bow and fitting the arrow. Then the process, sometimes tedious and nerve-wracking, of preparing it to allow the string, the arrow, to release itself. The arrow must fly on its way to the target. The arrow must fly on its way to a target that must never be considered. So in creation, you're not thinking of the final product. You're training yourself so that creativity itself becomes second nature, so that and he's big on this, capturing all these ideas and stuff. so that when you go to create, it's second nature, like an archer putting a, and that's, he's kind of mimicking this book called Archery, Zen in the Art of Archery is the book, what the book is called, but this is, of course, not that. He talks a lot about like the use of the subconscious, which I like a lot. I call it like sending out the horses, because if you're ever struggling on an idea or a problem, or even like every great idea in all of history has come from the subconscious, and not necessarily just the subconscious, but if you believe in like Jung or whatever, then it's the collective unconscious, and it's like it's actually something that you can hone into and vibrate as a radio, like on the frequency. But you have to train yourself to become very, very good. Like Albert Einstein had to train for years and years and years on physics, and that's him honing in on his antenna so that he can receive these messages literally in his sleep of E equals MC squared. He like wakes up and you have this eureka moment. These have to be, but you have to hone yourself so that your subconscious can do all of the heavy lifting for you. And it's truly amazing how much processing power the subconscious can do for you. I mean, and you just like, if you have an idea or you have a problem you need to solve, if you just like send out the horses, like, and that's like just sending out the letting it go and waiting to see which messages you receive back is kind of how I think about it. Here's one. The double revolution continues, and there are more invisible revolutions to come. There will always be problems. Thank God for that. And solutions. Thank God for that. Let's see. There's a lot of good little snippets. The children sense, if they could not speak, that the entire history of mankind is problem solving, or science fiction swallowing ideas, digesting them, and excreting formulas for survival. Oh, here's a good one. What is this? It's a good little snippet. I just lost it. Whatever. Okay. Well, I mean, it does actually pertain a little bit more to writing than I thought, but you can replace writing with almost anything, and you can still get a little bit something out of this. So I would highly recommend this, like 9 out of 10. Go, I don't even know where you would find this. I got this on a website called Thrift Books. It was like $4. So yeah, check it out. Super easy read. It's like 100 pages, 150 pages, 139. Yeah. Okay, that being said, let's get into the news. Did I give that one a rating yet? 9 out of 10 on this? 9 out of 10. Check it out. Not necessarily a 10 out of 10 because it's like not really a narrative. There are some nice poems in the back, but that's about it. Not that a book has to be a narrative to be a 10 out of 10. I think I gave David Foster Wallace a supposedly fun thing I'll never do again. I think I gave that a 10 out of 10 too. That's just an amazing book. Okay, let's go into the news. Art of the Deal. Okay. So this is just, I mean, brutal. This is absolutely brutal. So I guess the war is over. The war is over between the U.S. and Iran. I'm sure you've seen the news or whatever. And there's an agreement going on or something along those lines. Like, so there's a deal being made. And I think J.D. Vance is there. And I think that guy, Jared Kushner, is there. Jared Kushner is Donald Trump's stepson or son-in-law, who is Jewish and converted his daughter to Judaism. The whole thing is really strange there. Also, Jared Kushner's the guy who came on. I think I played a clip of it a while back, but he's like, Yeah, I think at the Gaza and West Bank, there's a lot of opportunity for growth. There's a lot of opportunity for vacation. There's a clip of Jared Kushner talking about all this. He's like doing a presentation and he's like showing schematics and like renders of like the skyline and the resorts and the casinos that they're gonna put up there, and there's gonna be strip clubs, and it's gonna be the new Gaza, and they're planning on the investment, the land investments. They're planning that the Jared Kushner's that guy. So think about like the worst person of all time and multiply it by like 10. That's Jared Kushner. He's like a Weasley guy. What does he look like? I think he looks really Weasley. Um, let's see, Jared Kushner. Let's see what this guy looks. Let's take a peek at this guy. Yeah, wow, this guy is okay. This guy's a weasel. This guy's 100% a weasel. Yeah, this is the face of someone. He actually might not be human. He actually kind of looks like Barron. He might be related to Donald Trump in some way. He kind of looks like one of his sons, who's marrying his own daughter. This is like one of the maybe the biggest cases of, and I don't even know what Jared Kushner does, but it might be one of the biggest cases of nepotism. Because what does Jared Kushner do? So I heard that they were like, okay, so here's the deal. What the deal that they made, and this is Donald Trump, Art of the Deal. The author of Art of the Deal. So let's see what the author of Art of the Deal came up with. So the document says that the U.S. will work with regional partners to create a fund of, quote, at least 300 billion with a B for Iran's reconstruction and economic development. Vice President Vance has said Gulf Arab nations would invest that amount. So now 300 billion sounds like a lot. Oh, well, for one, because it is a lot, but also we've sent, how much money have we sent to Israel? Is this almost double? I feel like we've sent $160 billion to Israel. Let's look that up. Okay, so I mean, from what Google's telling me, is we only give Israel $6.8 billion a year. That's a bit of a head scratcher because I could have sworn I've seen like headlines that say another 30 billion to Israel, and then it became kind of like a meme, unless that's some sort of Mandela effect. But apparently we only give them $6.8 billion. So Iran is getting a nice deal. They're getting a solid deal out of this. 300 billion's nothing to, joke about. And after this, I mean, obviously Iran is going to start. This is probably going to launch Iran into maybe one of the biggest, big daddy countries. There's a couple of countries that are like big daddy countries, like China. They have a great, booming economy. They've got like chips and shit like that. Then you've got Russia. They're like the big daddy because they're like the last bastion of like, I guess, communism or something like that. And then you got the U.S. obviously, the policeman, the bully, the hall monitor of the whole world. And then you have England, the old man who used to be great, who might actually still control most parts of the world, who knows, through ancient bloodlines and royal family shenanigans. But, plays the part of kind of the burnt out veteran, the wise old man, the weathered, grisly kind of fisherman with war stories. That's England. And, coming to the stage is a $300 billion deal to Iran. and they might be the new kids on the block. Iran, if like this might be the equivalent of giving like, you know, your bratty, like the brattiest person you know, like a blank check, and like the shittiest friend that you've ever seen, or not even a friend, like the shittiest person that you've ever met, having like won the lottery. And now you have to kind of like cope with that as a person. Like the shittiest person you know just won the lottery. And they didn't even play it. They didn't really even play the lottery. They were just like found a ticket kind of. So that's like, and now they're going to be a brat. They're going to buy cars, they're going to wreck cars and then instantly buy new ones. I actually had a friend that wrecked his car and then his mom bought him a better car. This is the kind of like, you know, brat behavior that you're dealing with. Is they'll wreck cars, they'll get into drunk driving accidents and then pay for bail and then skip the country to England and then start, you know, having parties at their, you know, loft in England, their suite, their, you know, the very top level suite. You know, yachting. They'll be yachting. That's what Iran is about to do. They're about to become the biggest brat in the entire world. And honestly, I'm kind of happy for them. Like, I'm not even mad that Iran won the lottery. I'm actually more impressed that Trump was able to lose this bad. He was able to lose this bad. This is the classic dichotomy, or the classic, you know, pairing of the overbearing father and the bratty, you know, gay son. Not necessarily gay son. It could be just a child in general. And you have England, or not, no, you have America, who's putting sanctions, can't do this, can't do that. And then you have Iran, now, blank check, dad's dead, mom's gone, inheritance, paycheck, out of town, like, you know, getting into messing with drugs. They're going to have a huge boom on, they're probably going to be like, they're going to have like probably Dubai like orgy parties, you know, like Dubai was doing that, the like human toilet. They were like getting like OnlyFans girls and doing like human toilet things with them. That's going to be Iran. They're going to be getting into some really strange, they're going to drop the Muslim thing real quick. I'm telling you, 300 billy will make you turn un-Muslim real fast. They're going to go, yo, this is what real money's like. What is Iran's total net worth? Yeah, I mean, this is insane. So it says, this is from worldometer.com or .info or whatever. Nominal current gross domestic product GDP of Iran is 300.29 billion. So they just got a blank check that doubled their entire network. So they're going to be feeling on top of the world. They're going to be going crazy. They're going to be doing, you know, poo-poo parties. They're going to be doing gay stuff. They're going to be opening up the straight, and they're going to let everyone in. That's not some sort of gay euphemism, but, you know, take it how you will. It is going to be, they're going to have their own issues soon. They're going to have their own, they're going to be discussing, you know, they're going to be a few years behind. They're going to be, you know, gay marriage is going to be an issue there. And then it's going to be like trans people reading books in like libraries. And then they're going to get to, you know, which bathrooms do they use. And then it's going to be like trans people in sports. They're a few years behind us, probably 10 years, but they're going to be catching up real fast. They're coming to the modern era where the problems that we're concerned with will actually also become the problems there. They will start having problems with like immigrants in their country. and it'll be like, and I don't know if Arab countries are like this, but it'll be like almost like obviously racist. Because I know, like in India, it's like 100% racist in India. I don't know if they're gonna do that, but that's where we're going. What's the other part of this deal? U.S. will unfreeze Iranian funds. Okay, yeah, so they're out of timeout. They're out of timeout. No more curfew. Blank check. Credit cards. No cap. There might be a Project X type party in Iran soon, and it's gonna be sick. They're gonna do their own what's that? The Riyadh Comedy Festival. They're gonna be doing comedy festivals. They're gonna be paying a shitload of money for music festivals. Iran's gonna be. You're gonna hear in a couple years about how cool Iran is. Maybe one of your friends, or you'll see a TikTok. Come with me as I get ready. Get ready with me as I get ready to go to Iran. So right when we landed, we were greeted by some of the best food and gelato we've ever had in our entire lives. There was a couple people wearing hijabs, but they said that they weren't mandatory for females. And actually, a lot of people are now wearing skirts and t-shirts. It's going to be... Get ready with me while... Actually, a lot of... Top 10 misconceptions about Iran. Actually, they don't throw gay people off buildings anymore. Muslim is actually a pretty chill country, whatever. That's going to be just what's coming. And this isn't some sort of premonition. This is just what's going to be coming. Now they're playing with the big boys. They got a good chunk of change, and they're going to be, unless they blow it all, because this could also happen with like the bratty son. This happens where they get the money, they get addicted to, Quaaludes, or they buy 5 too many houses. They don't have a financial assistant. Also, what's interesting is like, this is like a contract, right? This was like a legal document, so they had to get a lawyer. What lawyer represented Iran? Because like, are there non-Jewish lawyers? That's just a genuine question, because I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I mean, the one way that this could go is Iran like crashes the car, comes out drunk, stumbles, accidentally kills someone. They're like screaming in the street, oh shit, call my dad. And then, they have a situation where they go a little crazy. Maybe they try to do another 9/11 situation. I don't know. That could also be another reality. I'm not going to pretend like they're going to be, it's a lot of money. It's fun. It's fun money. I remember when $300 billion, like, this might be crazy, but I think I remember a time when people are like, Elon Musk is now worth $300 billion. And it was like kind of a crazy thing. Elon Musk is almost worth $500 billion. Gasp. And now Elon Musk is now worth $1 trillion based off of his like IPO business, whatever. I don't even give a fuck. Yeah, SpaceX went live or something like that, and now Elon Musk is now the richest person in the universe. All that money, and I mean, this just proves to you that all the money in the world, $1 trillion, like, it's just retarded money. $1 trillion, not necessarily like, it's not like he has $1 trillion in his bank account, but he's the richest, quote unquote, richest man in the world. And all the money in the world can't make you not just the biggest dork in the entire world. Yeah, I'm Dark MAGA. Remember when he said Dark MAGA? Like, I can't even get over that, because he came out on the stage. Donald Trump had him on the stage. And he was like jumping around. And he had his MAGA hat, but it was all blacked out. And he's like, haha, it's Dark MAGA. It's Dark MAGA. It's like, okay, bro. It's okay. yes, we get it. And he's like jumping around and he's doing like fake Diablo. Remember when Elon Musk did a fake Diablo stream? He was like pretending to play. This is how much he wants to be liked, and it's almost kind of pathetic for someone like these people. As much as they don't want to be human, they still have like human instincts that they just cannot kill. Like Elon wants to be liked and thought of as funny so bad that he was literally like he was streaming on Twitch playing Diablo 5 and what just like he was like paying an Indian to play for him and he was just on the webcam like pretending to play. It's like people are like, dude, you're not even playing right now. He's like, hey chat, I'm Elon Musk and I'm rich. Hey chat, haha, hey chat. It's he's like just a big like epic, epic win. He's got probably like a meow cat guy or whatever. The song that goes like the meow 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 meow. Like he's probably big into like unicorns and stuff. Like he's got like he wears those sunglasses that are pixelated. Like he's that kind of guy. Like if he was not a trillionaire, he would be working at where would Elon Musk be working if he was not a trillionaire? He would probably be working at like a GameStop or like a trading card shop, and you go in and you're like, hey, I just wanted to check out some of the board games. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm Elon Musk. I love board games. Check out some of these board games. I'm really good at them, by the way. You want to play? He's like that. I would imagine Elon Musk like that, and he's wearing like a t-shirt that has like a dramatic photo of a cat playing like a saxophone or something on it. He's like, "Ha, you see my shirt? My shirt's really funny." And he like does like a fake like saxophone playing. That's Elon Musk, and that is a man who's a trillionaire. That's a person that people have. And guys, I'm not saying that he's a trillionaire because he might just be like a figure. All these people might just be figureheads because they're the most retarded people that you've ever seen in your life. Like if you ever look up what's this guy? Alec Cartman. What's that guy's name? What is that guy's name? The guy who, not Palantir, but the other one. The guy literally looks methed out. Like if you've ever met like an actual meth head who's like always doing this with his jaw and he's like tweaking in his seat and he can't like sit still. He's like crossing and uncrossing his legs over and over again. And he's like picking at the backs of his hands and he's like, yeah, well, we're just trying to make AI work as efficiently as possible. And, I just want to be, everyone wants to go to the moon. And he's like, yeah, doing this the whole time. He's like, he's a genuine crackhead. And it might be that like the actual people that are controlling things just put these people as figureheads. That's entirely possible, and honestly might be the most simple solution, because the fact that some of these people are the richest people, like you have Peter Thiel, who might be one of the most competent out of the bunch, but also talks like well, that's a great question. Let me think about that for a second. Do I think that the human race should survive? On a technicality, that's the kind of guy that. And then you have Mark Zuckerberg, who's also. All these guys are such freaks, and the fact that they're such characters, like, it just doesn't make sense to me that they're not like some sort of like just like lab grown freaks or something. Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah. It's a great question, but it's not actually a bunker. Remember that clip that I played from Theo Von? Theo Von's like, it looks like a bunker. He's like, well, it's actually not a bunker. It's actually mostly for storage. And he's like, well, you just said it was like 400. You said 400,000 square feet. Well, I got a lot of things to store. And that's Zuckerberg. So it's like, I don't even know what I was talking about. But I'm just talking about how gay and weird all these guys are. Who's the other one? Peter Thiel, Sam Altman. Sam Altman's also just, these guys just look weird, bro. And like, what were these people up to? Like, we've given over the reins of the entire future of the world to the biggest losers on the planet. We've given over total control of the planet. We've handed the wheel over to the biggest loser that you ever have seen in your life. Elon Musk. It's dark, MAGA. He's jumping up. Yeah! And then, he's tweeting something. This is an epic win. Epic win, by the way. I mean, it's honestly, you just have to kind of step back and just soak it in and just, this is what it is. This is what it is. The biggest losers on the planet are the ones that are, and, obviously you knew this was going to happen because the people that succeed the most are like the ones who are like autistically focused on like robotics or whatever. They come to school for show and tell, and they come with like a drone that they made with facial recognition. Oh, it's super cool. He just like stares straight ahead. The teacher asks him, so why did you make this drone with facial recognition? I thought it was, I needed to scan where we lost our dog, and I wanted to try to find it, so I made a drone to fly over the houses and find the dog. Okay. And then that kid gets instantly recruited, makes his own company. The company becomes worth $12 billion. That gets bought, and then he goes on to, whatever. That's the type of, then all of a sudden you got drones from this kid. And it's like, and then they do like a piece on it on CNN. The heartstring story of a boy who lost his dog, now turned billionaire. Hey. And then it's like, hey, I'm Matt. I'm here sitting with the biggest retard you've ever seen. When you were a kid, you lost your dog. Tell me about that. And that's the guy. Well, yeah, I lost my dog, but I found him with my drone. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. And then that kid gets picked up by a scout who's like, this kid's got promise. And then the kid like programs a drone so that they can kill a brown family in some foreign country. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Let's see, what is this? Speaking of AI, this is Jeff Bezos, known freak Jeff Bezos. AI is not a threat. It will create more jobs, says Jeff Bezos. Okay, guys. Whew. Okay, guys, everyone swipe the sweat from your brow. If you ever thought AI would take your job, it's okay. You can stop worrying. Jeff Bezos has good news for you. AI is not a threat. It will actually create more jobs. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, at a technology conference in Paris in June, said that the artificial intelligence is not a threat. It will actually create more jobs for humans rather than replace them. Interesting. Here's his argument. AI is going to create a labor... the argument. AI is going to create a labor shortage because it's going to make it impossible for people to AI is going to create a labor shortage because it's going to make it possible for people to identify more problems, he said. Okay, so let's untangle that for a second. AI is going to create a labor shortage. Okay, so he's saying there will literally be so many jobs that there won't be enough people to fill them. So he's retarded. He added that the technology will help bring to life ideas previously considered impossible. If we can accelerate the dream build loop, all of the ideals will then become possible. and then we will end up limited not by our capabilities, but by our imaginations. The 62-year-old said during the session moderated by former NASA astronaut Mike Massimino. If we can accelerate the dream build loop, all of the ideas will then become possible. And then we will end up being limited not by our capabilities, but by our imaginations. Okay, I'm trying to imagine in my mind's eye. Everyone close your eye for a second and imagine the dream world that these people are trying to create. With AI, the dream world that they're selling. So they're selling a world in which anything that you want to do in your life, you tell AI and it makes it a thing. Like, I don't understand the dream world that they're trying to... So, and I know he's saying, like, we're limited by our imagination. Yes, I'm trying to use my imagination right now to imagine the world that he's thinking of. And it sounds like I mean, I don't even know. I literally can't imagine the dream world where it doesn't eliminate millions of jobs. Like, what are the jobs? Because I know at these, like, data centers, they're, like, 90% empty, and they bring in, like, I saw this one, it was, like, footage from a town hall meeting, and they're, like, it's, like, this small town in, I don't even know, like, Nebraska or some shit, and they're in a town hall, and they're like, well, the guy behind the desk is like, obviously, the biggest dude, he has, like, a bald, he looks like a thumb, and he looks like a beanbag, and he's like, well, you know, we're trying to bring in a lot of jobs. We're bringing in the jobs. We finally won the bid. And it's not every town that gets chosen to be a data center. Not every town has the privilege of being home to a data center. Not every town has the privilege of being home to a data center. And then someone in the audience asks, how many jobs is this going to be bringing to the town? Well, let me check my notes here. And he rustles around with, like, he's drawn crayon on all the pages. It's just, like, pictures of, like, sky. And there's, like, little suns in the corner and stuff, like, and it's him holding hands around a stack of money. And he's like, well, you know, I think they said something like 12 jobs. Yeah, they're bringing 12 jobs to our area. But those 12 jobs, they're bringing them. And that could be you. Well, how many of those jobs are currently available to us? Well, actually, you know, 6 of them are actually people that are transplanting to run and maintain and train. But so 6 jobs. We got 6 new jobs in here. But you're going to have to deal with a constant ringing and hum in the background and a massive drain on the entire electrical grid. Well, them's life. Let me try to find this video of this guy talking about the 12 jobs. Okay. I couldn't find the clip, but I asked Google, and it said often ranging from dozens to a few hundred. Data centers typically create a few permanent jobs, often ranging from dozens to a few hundred. So you're selling out your town, your citizens, your own family for a few dozens to a few hundred jobs. And of course those jobs are like probably will also be replaced by like robots that like, have you ever been inside of a Lowe's? I went inside of a Lowe's recently that was in like a big town. Yeah, I think it was when I was in Dallas. And in the Lowe's, they had a robot that was walking around scanning the inventories in the aisles, doing like, I guess, how many are front faced or how many slots are missing, or, scanning them for which ones were penny skews or something like that. I don't know what it was doing, but it was just walking around and had cute little eyes, and it was like beep boop, boop boop doop, beep boop 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 doop. And it was like cute, and you're like, oh, yo, what's up? And you're like, you bump into him on an aisle down the road, or like, you turn the aisle and he's like there, and he makes a cute little beep at you, and you're like, yo, man, my bad. Yeah, that's who's going to be doing the stuff at these data centers soon. So it'll be like 500 now, like 500, and it says 500's on the top end. So like these mega data centers, like the 400 square foot or the 400 acre one that I think they said it's a 40,000 acre. I don't know if that's true. 40,000 acres. How big was the forest in Winnie the Pooh? Was that the 40 acre woods? What was that woods called? Yeah, it was called the 100 acre wood. So Winnie the Pooh lived in the 100 acre wood, which is 100 acres. The data center that they're planning to build in Utah proposed data center, is 40,000 acres. Does that even make sense? So, and I heard Theo Von, and guys, this recently, Theo Von he did a solo podcast, and he said something that really scared me. And usually he's really positive, but he said something that really kind of freaked me out when he said it. He said that he thinks that whatever the billionaires were trying to get to, like their singularity for, living forever, their immortality, they've cracked it. And now now they're all in a race to lock it down. So and that's all he said. But my theory on this is that those data centers might be just facilities that they're planning to upload their conscious into, and they will operate out of that data center. Like that will be their remote brain. So it's like whoever's the richest billionaire gets to build the biggest data center and upload their, they get the biggest amount of bandwidth for their brain and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's true. I'm just, of course, making this up. That's like a schizophrenic rant. The more likely solution, if we're doing like Occam's razor, everyone loves that guy. These data centers are storage for the constant surveillance that our own population is under constantly, and not only not only digital surveillance, as in like what you're watching on YouTube, what you're Googling, what type of things are you buying in bulks, what type of items are you purchasing together. All of this information is being tracked and obviously will be scored, but also your physical movements will be tracked with like the flock cameras and stuff. And those will also, you'll also get like some sort of like social, not necessarily a social credit score. They're probably going to come up with a really interesting, like a name that makes it sound good. It'll be like maybe like good boy points or something. What do they do they might do something really like kindergarten, when they did like the red cards and the yellow cards and the green cards. And then like if the teacher got mad at you, they're like, go swap out your card. Go give me your green card and put your yellow in the slot. That's the government's going to slowly, I think, probably turn into some sort of, what were those called though? The card system. Because that might be what it's going to turn into some sort of like, maybe it'll just be called, no, they can't call it brownie points because that's obviously going to not go over well with. Yeah, it's going to be, it's not going to be good, whatever it is, and I know I'll probably have a very low score just because of the things I say out loud here, but also some of the things I say in private that will no longer be private, but also broadcast to a data center, such as like, hey, what are your actual thoughts on 9/11? What do you think about the dancing Israelis? What do you think about the moon landing? What do you think about Jeffrey Epstein's involvement in the weapons trade that the CIA was part of in what was that called? Not COINTELPRO. That was called what was that mission? God, there's so many illegal missions that's been going on in America. I literally can't even keep them all straight in my head. Literally can't. Operation something, I don't even know. All right, let's see if we can accelerate the dream build loop. Okay, yeah, this is Jeff Bezos talking. Bezos describes his vision for space exploration. Oh wait, okay, whatever. Yeah, AI. I'm telling you right now, and I'm honestly not that sold on AI. I don't have Claude. I don't have ChatGPT. I don't use any of these AIs. I refuse to even. I don't even like using Google, like the auto AI generation. It's honestly the only thing that pops up now, so you really can't avoid it. But anything AI, I have an extreme aversion to. My boss recently shared a motivational video with everyone, and the video was a video of someone who's dead. And it was an AI video of things that he's saying that he's never said before. So it's inventing words from the dead man's lips. AI is doing this. So AI is, and I just sent my boss a message. I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but this is completely AI. And then at our next meeting, my boss is like, so Matt, do you just hate everything that's AI? And I'm like, well, I just kind of reject it as a thing. I don't really think it can make any, I don't think it can make anything meaningful because it doesn't have experience. It doesn't have life. It doesn't have mortality. So it can't share the feelings and share the pain of a human. It doesn't have pain. It doesn't have feelings. So it can't convey those in a meaningful way. And he's like, well, motivation can be motivating. I'm like, I don't really think it can be motivating if it comes from an AI because they don't even know what it means to be demotivated because they're programmed to just be motivated, to just do whatever they're programmed to do. They don't even know what demotivation means. They don't even know what demoralization means. They don't even know what it means to feel lazy, to call into work just because. An AI doesn't even know any of these feelings. It doesn't know the feeling of the sun setting and them, the sun setting on a Sunday and then the dread of having to get up on a Monday. They don't know any of these. An AI will never be able to express any of these feelings in a meaningful way. So anything that comes from the lips of an AI is immediately useless to me because it doesn't share in the human experience. Okay, let's continue reading. Not even reading. Let's listen to this. This is I believe this is Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe, who is Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, who's committed the dirtiest job of all, selling his soul, is now opening a. Gosh, I don't even know how to phrase this. He's opening a training fund for blue-collar workers to learn how to help make data centers.
People are building things in America again.
People are building things in America again. What are we building? Our inevitable doom. People are building things in America again. That's right. America's back, but you're not invited.
In America again, which calls for the best of America, our people. Introducing America's Workforce Academy, built by Meta. Paid training, a job, and a path to America's future. The future is for everyone.
See, that's actually the opposite of what the future is for everyone. For now. It should say for now. Help us build the future that will leave you behind. Are you a person who breathes and has to sleep and eat food? Oh. Well, we're going to be disposing. We don't need you. We won't need you soon. That should be the end of the thing. We won't need you soon. If you don't fight back now, you'll never have a chance. That should be the slogan. Learn more at meta.com. If you don't fight back now, you'll never stand a chance. This is your last chance. God, I'm trying not to be demoralizing and like sad, but I have so much. I don't even know how to describe it. I have so much fear and I have so much angst, and it feels like this incredible weight on my shoulder as a person who loves justice, who wants to see everyone succeed, who wants to see people live their fullest life, to achieve their full potential, to have an equal footing in where they live. As someone who has all these qualities, seeing it slowly be stripped, your autonomy, your creativity, your work, and I mean, a lot of people find meaning in work and supply, and like when there are going to be a lot of people that kill themselves, when they're just given a paycheck from the government and they don't even do anything. They don't have anything to do. And it's like, be creative. Like, yes, but also it's like, oh, when AI comes out, it's going to free up the world. Everyone can be creative. Everyone can do whatever you want. If you want to go do something, you can go do it. The government will pay you anyways. It's like I can't even imagine a worse world where you're not in control of your future. I just want a world where what you do, it impacts your life. Like I have autonomy over my body, and I'm not talking like, I just want like the things you do to matter. I don't even know how to really explain it, but it's just like so sad seeing where this country, where the world is going. And it's like I'm not someone who can even do anything except talk into a mic and talk about it, cuz I don't have the skills and I don't have the bravery of, the 1776 tea spillers. I can't organize anything. Like these things aren't possible anymore. And it's not like even if I could I would. I couldn't. I don't. It's almost like it's, I mean, like I said, I don't want to be demoralizing, but it feels like the wick is burning. And the good news is that there will be a window. There will be a very small window where there are human workers inside of all these facilities, and that might be the last window where, like I said, with Palantir, I like to use Lord of the Ring quotes, but if you work at Palantir, you are bearing the ring, and it takes a very brave hobbit to throw the ring into the fire. So it's going to take a very brave hobbit in order to toss the ring, Frodo. I would have gone with you into the ends of the world. I would have gone with you into the very fires of Mordor. It takes a team. It takes a fellowship to see the ring to the fire. And by the ring, I obviously mean AI. But it takes a fellowship, and it takes an actual wizard, and it takes an act of God. That's what it took to throw the ring into the fire. It took a wizard coming back on the third day to or coming back on sunrise or whatever to help fight the orcs. The wizard in white coming back, and it took an act of actual God to, because Frodo at the very last second also said, I can't do it. I have to use it. I love the ring. But then obviously the ring fell after Gollum got it into the fire. Just an act of God. So that's what it's going to take. But it's going to take a fellowship, and it's going to take a lot of luck. It's going to take a lot of perseverance, and it's going to take a Samwise Gamgee. It's going to take a Samwise to get it across the finish line.
And that is a new ad, a first look at Meta's launch of America's Workforce Academy. This is a new $115 million nationwide training program, leading attendees to a long-term skilled trade career. The academy will first launch in Louisiana, Ohio, Indiana, and Texas, and it will be cost-free for participants, guaranteeing a job at a data center upon completion. Graduates will earn credentials and certificates needed to work across different industry sectors, marking the largest private sector commitment to skilled trades in U.S. history. Joining me now, the woman behind it all for this Fox Business exclusive, the president and vice chairman of Meta, Dina Powell-McCormick, along with Mike Rowe, Works Foundation CEO. Mike Rowe, who's been doing this for 16 years. Great to have you both. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having
us.
Congratulations. This is a big deal, and I love the name, the Workforce Academy. Tell us about it.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Maria. It's such a privilege to be here with Mike and to work together with him on something that is so needed. You know, at Meta, we really believe that every American deserves to be part of this economic transformation that we're seeing. But
there's nothing more depressing than saying every American deserves to be part of this economic transformation. One, that's exposing the fact that there's going to be a major transformation where you no longer matter and you will be left behind. So they're saying they're essentially Meta is saying, hey, we're sinking the ship, and we built one life raft. Get on it, or we're out of here. That's essentially what they're saying. The richest people are already out. They weren't even on the boat. They're out. They've been out. They're all at their bunkers. But they're saying, yeah, we're offering them this one. You guys can come along. Whoever gets in the boat, come along. We need you. We need slaves. We'll need slaves in the future. That's essentially what this means to me. Meta's saying, we need slaves. Meta needs slaves. It's a poster of Mark Zuckerberg pointing. Meta needs you. We want slaves just like you. We need people who are dumb enough to build their own demise. How much are you willing to do? How little could we pay you to build your own demise? That's what AI. That's what this lady has been in conversations where they're like, what's the minimum amount that we could pay these people to build their own destruction? These people are building. What's the minimum amount of money we could pay someone to build a prison around themselves? We could pay them we could probably pay them $50,000, and they would literally build a bar, bricks and bars around themselves on purpose for the right price. So let's see let's flip ahead a little bit. Let's see
the friction points You have to make a persuasive case for the work, and you have to meet this generation where they are. And full disclosure, if you told me that meta wasn't even a word back then, but that you guys were going to take this position on this issue, it's a delight to be involved.
Well, especially since we are in the middle of this revolution, and people will call this another industrial revolution with regard to AI and the build out of data centers, and you need people to know how to do those jobs to build.
This is honestly, and guys, I could be blowing this completely out of proportion. This could be one of those moments when it's like, learn to code, and now coding is like useless. Like when they were telling guys, this is how bad I completely forgot about this shit. 5 years ago, not even 5 years ago, like maybe even 8 years ago, 10 years ago, they were telling blue-collar workers, learn to code. They were telling coal mine workers losing their jobs, learn to code. They could just be taking everyone on another ride in a giant rug pull, telling these people learn to build data centers. That, dude, telling coal workers who lost their job learn to code, and then 5 years later releasing something that codes for everyone, and now they're like, well, now we kind of need you back to build the data centers. Sorry, we told you to learn to code, but now we don't need you either. We don't need you to mine coal. We don't need you to code, but we do need you to build these data centers. But then after that, we won't need you. So after that, your service will be provided, and unless you've got a really smoking hot bod, you're not welcome to the harem, is essentially what we're looking at for the future. We're looking at only smoking. You have to have a smoking hot bod in the future, or you will not be making it on the lifeboat. That's the next lifeboat that goes, is the smoking hot bods. I'm sorry. Skilled work is gone. Hot bods are in. Skilled work out, hot bods in. That's the next lifeboat. After this lifeboat that goes out, where they say, oh, yeah, we need skilled workers to build these data centers. We need people to maintain them. We need people to check on the server and open it up and make sure that the fans are on. After that lifeboat is gone, the next one that's coming and the last one that's going is hot bods. Who's got a hot bod that we can bang and turn into a public toilet at our elite resort? Perfect transition, public toilet. Let's talk about Peter Thiel's gay club. Leak exposes members of Peter Thiel's secret dialogue society, a.k.a. his homo club, which should be obvious. I actually think Peter Thiel does have if not a boyfriend, a husband. A trove of internal records from a secret society of powerful figures in the U.S. politics, finance, and tax was left exposed online. Wireless has confirmed naming participants in the events and revealing sensitive personal details they were assured would stay private. The group, called Dialogue, is a private, invitation-only organization co-founded in 2006 by billionaire tech investor Peter Thiel. It convenes U.S. officials, foreign government figures, Silicon Valley executives at an off-the-record annual retreat. Dialogue has spent 2 decades declining to disclose its members. The names of 222 people. Interesting choice. If you do 3 of those, all of a sudden you have 666 people. Here are some of the data lays out a program of the off-the-record sessions, including money, does buy happiness, ? Bring back nuclear, navigating World War III, battlefield technologies, and how's your sex life. Other talks include Build a Cult, moderated by founder of Christian networking site Pray.com, and Build a Party, run by a former White House national security official. So these are gay tech TED Talks where I assume they have a speaker who comes out blindfolded. The guest speaker that they have comes out blindfolded, probably just like the scene from Eyes Wide Shut. And then this music is playing, and everyone is banging each other, even the guys. And then this is playing in the in the background as you show up. This is what you've got going on. This is the type of vibe that Peter Thiel's brings to the function. Yeah, this guy blindfolded. That's the TED Talk speaker. So yeah, that's the kind of vibe that I imagine goes on at these special TED Talks. The dialogue. First off, they're all banging each other. The guys are banging everyone. It's probably honestly all guys, and they're all gay. This is a gay club, 100%. Yeah, I mean it's for sure just gays. Let's see. Where's the list of names though? I want the list of fucking names. Give me the names. Where are the names? Give me the names. Where are the names? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, it's probably your usual suspects. You've got your, Sam Altmans. You've got your, pretty much everyone we've already talked about. I mean, you probably got famous people like Kendrick Lamar, Puff Daddy showing up. Wanted to take a moment to say rest in peace to Clive Davis. Speaking of Puff Daddy, Clive Davis just died at age 98, something like that, 100. These people live to 1 billion years old, by the way. Clive Davis dies. He's 100% looking up at us. He's definitely in hell with the things he's done. There's a special place set aside in hell for the impossible job of payment for his retribution for his crimes against humanity. That's a job where, hell is getting ready. They're like, oh, Clive Davis is showing up today. And it's like no one really wants the job of torturing him because they're like, I don't really even know what I would do. I'm kind of out of ideas. You have Pinhead. Pinhead is can't come up with something hellish enough for Clive Davis with the things he's done. Obviously, Clive Davis helped launch Bad Boy Records with Diddy Combs. Definitely got with Diddy on the butt stuff and the Diddy parties and probably the trafficking shenanigans. Probably aided in the killing of Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston. I mean, Clive Davis was not a good guy. I saw this was pretty funny. CBS fired him because he misused corporate funds to pay for his son's bar mitzvah. So, hey, there's that. That should tell you about the guy. All right, let's finish this off with a couple TikToks. Sorry if this has been kind of a dark episode. I don't know why, but there's just this grim. I try to guys, for all the amount of darkness that's out there, we're living in a good spot, right? There's a lot that can be. It's not the end yet, But okay, let's go into TikTok time. So this is a guy. This is one of those guys who's like I was an ex-Navy SEAL. I operated in something beyond SEAL Team 6. I was in SEAL Team 6. I was in SEAL Team 666. We were demons. They called us the devils. They would drop us. If you drop me anywhere, I'd kill every single person with my fucking teeth. He's like one of those types of guys, but he's also fully LARPing. So here, let's just listen.
So then for you, your first kill, the way you felt about it was the way you felt about all of them, essentially.
Who gives a f***? No one gives a f***.
Is there a difference to you from calling a strike to stabbing someone?
No. Who cares? Get them bombs in here, you know what I mean? I just want to walk on the rubble and say clear, you know what I mean? I get on the radio and be like, clear.
Dude, this guy's so gay. He's like, I don't even care, bro. Give me the knife or give me the bombs. I just want to walk on the walk on the rubble and say clear. I want to say clear.
You know what I mean? Like, we're gangsters. Let's go.
We're gangsters. Let's go. Beyond the Label podcast. This is the Beyond the Label podcast, where we interview badass motherfuckers. He drinks Black Rifle coffee and drinks Death water. Liquid Death. Sponsored by Liquid Death. Are you a badass who likes to yell clear after bombing a small village of mostly civilians? Are you a gay guy? Are you fucking gay? Answer me, are you a queer? Well, you'll love Liquid Death. I don't even know where this is going. The Beyond the Label podcast. I do want to, let's pull that up real quick. Dude, what the fuck? This podcast does not exist. This podcast is not real. 4 subscribers. 16 subscribers. Oh, wait, here's one. Shaka Ware. Can gangsters fight? Okay, yeah, these are the ones. So this is like a white hot underbelly or whatever.
Shit that didn't kill you, then what can kill you out here, right? If I could get through prison and all them years through all them sharks, then how the could I not get through this Hollywood bullshit? Or
so yeah, they're trying to do like a soft white underbelly thing, and you know, they're trying.
I am proclaiming June 16, 2026 as Jerkfest Day in Toronto.
Over the years, I've had the pleasure of attending Jerkfest myself, and every moment being there reminds me of so much more about the food. It's a celebration of our Caribbean culture, our music, the entrepreneurship, the family, and the community, and it brings people from every background together to experience the warmth and hospitality of who we are.
Honestly, Jerkfest does sound really good. I love a Caribbean jerk. That's my go-to. I go Asian Zing and Caribbean jerk every time I go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Mango habanero, Asian Zing, Caribbean jerk, and maybe whichever one they're like the special of the week is or whatever. Love a Caribbean jerk, but I would not go. I would be a little bit wary to pull up to a jerk fest. Imagine you're at a hotel and you go to the lobby in the morning and you see them setting up for jerk fest and you're like, what's going on here? What's going on here? You ask someone really nervous. You're like, what's going on down here? What are you guys setting up on? What are you guys setting up for down here? All right, let's watch one more. Let's watch a couple more videos here.
The machine can do 500 bowls an hour.
This guy's talking about how his robot machine can make 500
iterating, and then
can make 500 burrito bowls an hour.
Bowls an hour. Constantly iterating, and then of course the infinite bowl making machine. It can make salads.
Infinite bowl making machine.
It can make Greek bowls, poke bowls, any kind of bowl. A third of our sales are in bowl concepts.
Dude, this is the slop. This is the slop. You're gonna have a robot make your slop for you as you check into the your shift at the data center. Your mandated shift at the data center. The 2 jobs will be working at a data center or delivering slop bowls made by a robot to a data center.
Consistency that we're seeing is in bowls because humans are making it and they sort of make it with different portion size or they might miss an ingredient. The beautiful thing about this machine is the bowl actually is on a maglev and the bowl spins and the ingredients are put very beautifully in the bowl so it looks and presented incredible and there's no errors.
Wow. That's great. That's great. Speaking of no errors, I was actually talking with my stepdad, who's, kind of a lib guy, and I was talking to him and my mom about AI and the data centers, and I told him, I said, I said pretty soon the next George. I told him on the next George Floyd situation that we have, where it's a black guy who gets, something bad goes wrong with the cops. They're gonna use that, and then it actually gets like crazy big, like George Floyd. Like it's gonna be the next big George Floyd situation where it's like an issue. Like George Floyd turned into like a global thing. Like they were doing I Can't Breathe in like England, So, but the next big George Floyd situation, they're gonna use that as an excuse for human error in policing, and they're gonna say, oh, we can't trust cops to not, racially profile or whatever. So they're going to slowly roll out in big cities, like, those little robot dogs. And those robot dogs are going to be the new police officers. They're going to be like, they're going to walk up to you like bzz, 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 with their little legs and then scan you. And they're going to have like a little robot voice that's like, please, sir, show me your ID. What are you doing out here? Or maybe it'll be really nice, like, please, sir, show me your ID. Boy, I'd sure love to see your ID. Boy, it would be a shame if I had to shoot you right now. So it's like a really friendly robot who comes up to you and he's like, please show your face to the camera. Turn to the left. Thanks. Turn to the right. Thanks. You gained 15 social score. See ya. Bzz, 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 bzz. He's walking away. But I was telling my stepdad, and he's like, I'm like, what are you gonna do when there's a robot, when there's a little robot dog? And he's like, honestly, I would kind of prefer that. I'm like, yeah, well, listen, I'm like, can you outrun a 40-mile-an-hour dog? He's like, why would it be chasing me? Why would it be? This is like that question is like. That question where they say that if you ask this question, someone has a low IQ. I'm not saying my stepdad has low IQ, but I'm just saying, they say like, how would you feel if you didn't eat breakfast this morning? And someone says, oh, well, I did eat breakfast this morning. Actually, I already ate a breakfast. No, but the question was, how would you feel if you didn't? And someone said, well, I'd probably be hungry. That's like, I think that's the right answer. I guess I would be pretty hungry right now, right? But then the wrong answer is, actually, I had a bagel. But so he answered with, well, it wouldn't be chasing me. The robot wouldn't be chasing me. I told him, okay, well, who did you vote for? He's like, well, I voted for Kamala. I'm like, well, who's president right now? He's like, well, currently it's Donald J. Trump. And I said, okay, well, what's stopping? I'm like, imagine a world, like close your eyes, imagine a world where Donald Trump wants that. I'm like, well, and I pretty much told him, I was like, okay, well, now you've got a 40-mile-an-hour dog chasing you because you vote. I mean, that's just a broad example, but, and then of course, well, my mom's like, yeah, I guess he would do something like that. I'm like, it's not even Trump. Trump's just the blueprint. I'm telling you, every single president after this will use, it'll be the dog. The dogs will be deployable. It'll be deployable dogs. If, I told her, like, you say something bad about Israel, the dogs come, you have a 40-mile-an-hour dog after you. God forbid you forget to scan something at the checkout, you got a 40-mile-an-hour dog chasing you. You forget you're driving without a registration or like a overdue registration, 40-mile-an-hour dog chasing you. You've got, whatever, you're when they come for the guns, finally, you got a 40-mile-an-hour dog chasing you, and then you've got to like booby trap your house and stuff for these dogs. There's an episode of Black Mirror where they are running from dogs. It's completely in black and white. The reason they stopped making Black Mirror episodes was because it was like too real, and it was like a little bit traumatic to watch, I think. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If any of you work in AI, toss the ring, Frodo. Goodbye. Let's play us out. Come on.
How the others must see the faker I'm much too fast to take that test. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Ooh, yeah. I watch the ripples change the size, but never leave the stream of warm and permanent sand. So the days float through my eyes, but still the days seem the same. And these children that you spit on as they try to change their worlds are immune to your consultations. They're quite aware of what they're going through. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't tell them to grow up